Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Speak Smart podcast. We're diving into a world that's all around us, but often hidden in plain sight.
Oh, I like
A
that.
fascinating realm of color symbolism and expressions.
Okay.
We're taking a deep dive into a podcast episode called Colors Unleashed,
Sounds intriguing.
and it's packed with insights into how colors shape our language, emotions, and even our perception of the world.
It's amazing how much we take color for granted. We see it everywhere, but rarely stop to think about the deeper meanings and associations we've attached to different hues.
Exactly. Like, why do we say once in a blue moon to describe something rare?
Right.
What's so blue about a rare event? And why are brownie points not actual chocolate treats? We'll uncover the answers to these quirky questions and explore the fascinating world of color expressions.
It's like deciphering a secret code, revealing those hidden messages embedded in our everyday language.
Okay, let's start with the basics, the primary colors.
Yeah.
Red, the color of fire, blood, and energy. It's a powerful hue associated with intense emotions, both positive and negative.
Think about it. Red represents passion, whether it's the passionate love of a romantic relationship or the passionate anger of a heated argument.
Right. And that duality is reflected in expressions like seeing red when someone is furious, or caught red-handed when someone's caught in the act of doing something wrong.
It's almost as if red acts as a visual alarm, signaling danger, urgency, or strong emotions that demand attention.
Then there's blue, the color of the vast sky and the deep ocean.
Calming.
It often evokes feelings of calmness, trust, and stability.
Think about the uniforms of police officers or the suits worn by business professionals. That deliberate use of blue is meant to project an aura of reliability and authority.
But blue also has a melancholic side.
Yeah.
Feeling blue is a classic expression for experiencing sadness or low spirits.
And that association might stem from the vastness and solitude of the ocean or the quiet stillness of a twilight sky.
Then we have expressions like once in a blue moon for something that rarely happens, and out of the blue for something unexpected.
These phrases highlight how blue can represent the unknown, the mysterious, and the unpredictable.
Okay, let's move on to yellow, the color of sunshine. It's often associated with happiness, cheerfulness, and energy.
Yellow is a color that grabs your attention, whether it's the bright petals of a sunflower or the cautionary yellow of a traffic light.
And that attention-grabbing quality can have both positive and negative connotations. Think of yellow-bellied, meaning cowardly, where that attention-seeking becomes a sign of weakness.
It's almost like they're too afraid to stand out, to be seen and noticed.
Then there's yellow journalism, a term for news that's sensationalized or exaggerated to attract readers, often at the expense of accuracy.
It's a cautionary term highlighting how the attention-grabbing nature of yellow can be used to manipulate or mislead.
Now on to green, the color of nature, growth, and harmony. It's a color that often symbolizes life, renewal, and fresh starts.
Think of a lush forest or a field of freshly sprouted grass. Green evokes a sense of vitality and connection to the natural world.
And that connection to nature is reflected in expressions like green thumb for someone skilled at gardening, or greenhorn for someone new and inexperienced,
Right.
implying a potential for growth and development.
It's like green represents that inherent potential for life to flourish and thrive.
But of course, there's the flip side, green with envy, a phrase that perfectly captures the feeling of longing for something someone else has.
It's that darker side of wanting what we don't have, that feeling of being overshadowed by someone else's good fortune.
Okay, we've covered the primary colors, but there's a whole rainbow of colors and expressions waiting to be explored. What do you say we take a quick pause and dive into the rest of the spectrum in the next part of our deep dive?
Absolutely. I'm eager to unravel the hidden meanings behind some of the less talked about colors and the fascinating expressions they've inspired. All right, let's continue our colorful journey. We've explored the primary colors, but there's a whole spectrum of hues and their associated expressions waiting to be uncovered. Let's start with purple, a color often linked with royalty, luxury, and ambition.
Purple has always struck me as a color with a regal presence. Think of those velvety purple robes worn by kings and queens throughout history.
Exactly. And that association with royalty is captured in the expression born to the purple, signifying someone born into a wealthy or noble family, destined for a life of privilege.
And then there's purple patch for a period of success or good luck, like a streak of good fortune. Almost as if life itself has been tinged with that royal purple hue.
Purple is also linked to creativity and imagination. Perhaps because it's a blend of blue's calmness and red's energy, a perfect fusion for artistic inspiration.
It's like purple represents that sweet spot where tranquility meets passion, creating a fertile ground for creative expression. Now, how about orange? It's such a vibrant and energetic color.
Orange is often associated with enthusiasm, warmth, and creativity. It's a color that evokes feelings of joy, abundance, and a zest for life.
Think of a brilliant orange sunset with the juicy segments of a ripe orange. It's a color that just radiates positive energy.
And that positive energy is reflected in expressions like, "Orange you glad," a playful phrase used to express delight or satisfaction.
But orange also has a cautionary side, as seen in traffic cones and warning signs.
Right, think orange alert, a signal of potential danger or a heightened state of awareness, reminding us to be cautious and prepared.
It's interesting how orange can represent both carefree joy and cautious awareness. It's like a reminder that life is full of both lighthearted moments and times that require us to be alert and attentive.
Now let's move on to pink, a color often associated with love, romance, and all things feminine.
Pink has such a delicate and charming quality. It's often used in children's clothing and toys, evoking a sense of sweetness and innocence.
And that innocence is reflected in expressions like tickled pink, meaning to be delighted or extremely pleased, as if experiencing pure, unadulterated joy.
And then there's in the pink to describe someone who's in excellent health or condition, radiating vitality and well-being.
It's like pink represents that youthful energy and vibrancy, a reminder of the simple joys of life.
Okay, on to brown, a color often associated with nature, earthiness, and stability.
Brown is often overlooked, but it's a color that grounds us, connects us to the natural world and the simple things in life.
Think of the rich brown of fertile soil or the sturdy trunk of a tree. It's a color that represents resilience, dependability, and a sense of belonging.
And that down-to-earth quality of brown is captured in expressions like brown bagging it, meaning to bring your own lunch, often in a simple brown paper bag.
It's a practical and unpretentious approach, a reminder that sometimes the most satisfying things are the simplest. And then there's the amusing expression, brownie points, a way of acknowledging someone's good deeds or efforts, even if those rewards aren't actual chocolate treats.
It's like a little pat on the back, a recognition of someone's good intentions and contributions.
Now let's delve into a color with a powerful presence, black.
Black is a color that commands attention. It's sleek, sophisticated, and often associated with power, elegance, and mystery.
Think of a classic black dress or a tuxedo. Black has a timeless allure, a sense of understated power and confidence.
And that power can be both alluring and intimidating. Black can also represent authority, strength, and even darker concepts like death, evil, and the unknown.
That duality is what makes black so fascinating. It can be both seductive and somber, representing both the height of sophistication and the depths of despair.
And that range is reflected in expressions like in the black for being financially profitable, which ties into that sense of control and success.
Then you have black sheep, for someone who is different from the rest of their family or group, often in a negative way, playing on black's association with being an outsider or a rebel.
And then there are terms like blackout, which can mean a loss of power or even consciousness.
Right.
And black market for illegal trade, which tap into those more clandestine and shadowy aspects of the color.
It's remarkable how a single color can hold such a wide spectrum of meanings, from the positive to the negative, the mundane to the profound.
Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have white, a color often associated with purity, innocence, and new beginnings.
White is like a blank canvas, full of potential and possibility. Think of a fresh snowfall, a pristine white wedding dress, or a blank sheet of paper. White represents a clean slate, a fresh start, a chance to create something new.
And that sense of purity is reflected in expressions like white lie, a small, harmless lie, often told to avoid hurting someone's feelings.
It's a lie with good intentions, meant to preserve harmony or avoid unnecessary conflict.
Then there's white elephant, which refers to a possession that's expensive to maintain but has little use or value, often given as an unwanted gift.
It's an interesting contrast to the idea of white representing purity or value. It highlights that even something seemingly pure or pristine can have hidden downsides or burdens.
And lastly, we have the distinction between white collar and blue collar jobs, which uses color to denote different types of work and social classes.
It's a reminder that color can be used to categorize and differentiate, even in the context of work and social structures.
We've covered a lot of ground, but there are still more colors and expressions to explore. What do you say we take a quick pause and continue our colorful journey in the next part of our deep dive?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to delving into some of the more nuanced shades and the intriguing expressions they've inspired.
All right, let's continue our exploration of the colorful tapestry of language and symbolism. We've covered the primary colors and some of the more prominent hues, but there are still plenty of shades and expressions waiting to be uncovered. What do you say we dive into some of the less talked about colors?
Absolutely. There's a whole world of meaning hidden within these subtler shades, and their expressions can be just as fascinating as those associated with the more well-known colors.
Let's start with gray, a color that sometimes gets a bad rap for being dull or boring. But I'm curious to see what we can uncover beneath its seemingly neutral surface.
Gray, a blend of black and white, represents balanced neutrality and a sense of calm. It's a color that can symbolize wisdom, maturity, and the perspective that comes with experience.
That makes sense. It's not flashy or attention-grabbing, but it has a quiet strength and stability. It's like the wise old sage who's seen it all and offers guidance without needing to be the center of attention.
Exactly. And that thoughtfulness is reflected in expressions like gray matter, which refers to the brain and intellect. It's not about brute force, but about thoughtfulness, consideration, and the power of the mind.
And then there's gray area, a term for something that's unclear, ambiguous, or falls somewhere between two extremes. It acknowledges that not everything is black and white, that there are nuances and complexities to life.
Gray also reminds us that even though gray skies might literally refer to cloudy weather, it can also symbolize a more somber mood, acknowledging those times when we feel a bit down or introspective.
Gray is definitely more complex than it might appear at first glance. It's not just about dullness, but about balance, wisdom, and even a touch of mystery. Now, how about gold? That's a color that definitely doesn't shy away from attention.
Oh, absolutely. Gold, a precious metal, inherently symbolizes wealth, luxury, success, and achievement. It represents high value both materially and metaphorically.
Think of gold medals in the Olympics. It's the ultimate symbol of victory and the pinnacle of achievement.
Exactly. And that aspirational quality of gold is reflected in expressions like a heart of gold for someone who's genuinely kind and generous, as if their inner worth is as precious as the metal itself.
And then there's golden opportunity.
Yeah.
That chance you shouldn't miss that moment when something truly valuable is within reach.
And let's not forget the golden rule, treating others as you want to be treated, a principle that holds immense ethical and moral weight.
Gold can represent both tangible wealth and those intangible riches like kindness, opportunity, and wisdom. Now, gold's close cousin silver often takes a back seat, but it still carries a lot of symbolic weight.
Absolutely. While also a precious metal, silver is often associated with elegant sophistication and modernity. It's a bit cooler, a bit more understated than gold.
It's like the sleek modern counterpart to gold's classic opulence, and while silver medals might represent coming in second place, they still symbolize a significant achievement.
Exactly. And there's the expression, every cloud has a silver lining, meaning that even in difficult times, there's a glimmer of hope or a positive aspect to be found.
It's like finding that hidden treasure amidst the challenges, a reminder that even in adversity, there's potential for something good to emerge.
And then there's the expression, born with a silver spoon in one's mouth, which refers to someone born into wealth and privilege.
It's as if silver, in this context, represents those advantages and opportunities that are bestowed upon someone from birth.
Silver also appears in the expression silver bullet, referring to a simple and seemingly magical solution to a complex problem.
It's like finding that one perfect key to unlock a challenging situation, a solution that's both effective and elegant.
Now let's venture into some more unique colors, starting with violet.
Violet, a blend of blue and red, always strikes me as a color that's both creative and mysterious. It's like it holds secrets and whispers of untold stories.
Violet is often associated with creativity, imagination, spirituality, and intuition. It's a color that encourages introspection, self-expression, and a connection to something beyond the everyday.
And that sense of mystery is captured in expressions like shrinking violet, for someone who's shy or timid, as if they're trying to blend into the background, much like a delicate violet flower might try to hide among its leaves.
And then there's violet hour, that magical time of day as the sun sets and the sky takes on those beautiful shades of violet.
It's a time for reflection, introspection, and a sense of wonder as the world transitions from day to night.
Now let's explore turquoise, a color that evokes images of tropical oceans and clear skies.
Turquoise is such a calming and refreshing color. It's a blend of blue and green, evoking feelings of tranquility, healing, and protection.
Turquoise is often associated with gemstones, particularly the turquoise stone, which is prized for its vibrant color and is believed to have healing and protective properties in many cultures.
And that sense of seeking something rare and precious is captured in the expression chasing the turquoise dragon, often used in the context of spiritual quests or personal journeys of self-discovery.
It's like searching for that inner peace and fulfillment, that elusive treasure that lies within.
And then there's the more straightforward turquoise water, which describe those crystal clear blue-green waters of tropical seas, instantly transporting us to paradise.
It evokes feelings of escaped serenity and a connection to the beauty and vastness of the natural world.
All right, let's dive into magenta, a color that's both bold and vibrant.
Magenta is a blend of red and purple, often associated with creativity, passion, and self-expression. It's a color that encourages us to embrace our individuality and live life to the fullest.
It's definitely color that makes a statement. And that sense of being fully immersed in one's creative flow is captured in the expression magenta mood, a state of heightened creativity and inspiration.
It's like being in the zone where ideas flow freely and creative energy is at its peak.
And then there's magenta magic, which speaks to that captivating and enchanting quality of the color, often used in the context of art, fashion, and design.
It's like magenta adds a touch of the extraordinary to anything it touches, making the ordinary seem magical and inspiring.
And lastly, let's explore crimson, a deep, rich shade of red that evokes strong emotions and a sense of intensity.
Crimson is often associated with passion, love, courage, and even danger. It's a powerful color that demands attention and represents both the heights of human emotion and the depths of our experiences.
Think of the crimson of a rose, symbolizing both passionate love and the potential for pain from its thorns.
Exactly. And that duality is captured in expressions like crimson tide, which can describe a strong and overwhelming force often used in the context of sports to describe teams with crimson-colored uniforms.
It's like an unstoppable force of nature, a wave of energy and power that's both exhilarating and intimidating.
And then there's crimson with embarrassment, which describes someone's face turning red when they feel deeply embarrassed or ashamed.
It highlights that visceral, almost uncontrollable physical reaction we have to intense emotions, particularly those that make us feel vulnerable or exposed.
And lastly, there's crimson sunset, describing the sky as it blazes with fiery red hues as the sun dips below the horizon.
It's a breathtaking display of nature's beauty and power, symbolizing the end of a day and the promise of a new dawn.
We've explored a wide range of colors and their associated expressions, but it's important to remember that color symbolism is not always fixed, or universal meanings can vary across cultures and even within individuals based on personal experiences and associations.
It's like we each have our own personal dictionary of color meanings, shaped by our unique perspectives and the way we interact with the world around us.
And that's what makes color so fascinating. It's a constantly evolving language influenced by culture psychology and even personal preference. There's always more to discover, more to learn about how color shapes our lives.
It's been such a vibrant journey exploring the world of color symbolism and expressions. I feel like I have a whole new appreciation for the rainbow of colors that surrounds us every day.
I'm glad to hear that. And I hope this deep dive has inspired you to pay closer attention to the colors in your own life. Observe how they make you feel, what memories they evoke, and what messages they might be sending you. Might be surprised by what you discover.
So to our listeners, as you go about your day, take a moment to appreciate the symphony of colors that paint your world. Notice how they influence your mood, shape your choices, and add depth and meaning to your experiences. Remember, color is more than just a visual experience. It's a language that speaks to our hearts and minds, enriching our lives in countless ways.
Thank you for joining us on this colorful adventure. We'll see you next time for another deep dive into the fascinating world around us.
And thank you for listening to the Speak Smart podcast.